Patricia Mukim, let's come to you with the next question, which in a way was meant to be the centerpiece of this entire no confidence motion, Manipur. Yogendra Yadav says for the first time at least Northeast is firmly on the national consciousness because of Manipur. But is the Manipur question still unanswered? You're in Shillong in Meghalaya, but from a perspective of the Northeast, do you believe that these debates have actually put Northeast on the national consciousness, on the national map, really?
Look, Rajdeep, Manipur is not the Northeast. Every state has its difficulties, has its nuances, and we are glad that Manipur has got the limelight. But for what? See, I really want to say one thing here. Parliamentary debates are not about who has won and who has lost. I think this is a media narrative that has been created since yesterday. Now, is the media pitting one group against the other? And for India, the group called India, the political alliances, I think they are themselves in a bit of a muddle because they're not very good with their strategies. And they shouldn't have walked out yesterday when the Prime Minister started speaking about Manipur, because that was an opportunity lost, I feel. And, you know, in Parliament today, there's so much of outrage. There are so much of snide remarks which never were there in the past. And everything is lost in that din of tutu meme. No? So the issues that really affect us as a country are not being addressed. One of which is, you know, what is the common man suffering from at the moment? Look at the price rise of essential commodities. Nobody is speaking about that, and they're supposed to represent us, the common people. I think hate politics has entered Parliament in a big way. I would really like to appeal to people from the India group and tell them that you don't win elections by moral outrage, by frothing at the mouth, by all these polemics, and you actually don't win election by rhetoric. You'll have to show something concrete on the ground and connect with people rather than, you know, looking for the limelight in Parliament.
You know, you mentioned the word hate politics. Ashok Malik, pick up on that because, you know, Asaduddin Owaisi was among those who referred to the hate crime, the horrific hate crime that took place in a railway compartment a few weeks ago, which somehow has got shadowed by all that has happened. Not too many people spoke about it, but it was horrific the way a railway constable has committed what by all accounts is a hate crime, killing 3 Muslims. We've had trouble in Nu, in other parts of the country in the last few months. You know, there is a sense that that level of hatred and polarization outside is also being carried inside Parliament. And the two sides, there's a breakdown of trust. Do you get a sense that these issues are not being addressed? There's too much of anger and hate inside Parliament and, dare I say, outside. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. Rajdeep, I tend to agree with you that our public discourse has become rather coarse. But it's not just our politics. Quite honestly, it's even our television channels, to be honest with you, our media, the way we seem to be discussing politics across this country. I'll give you one example, since Patricia Mukim is from Meghalaya, a state my wife grew up in. And let's talk about Manipur. Manipur is, and the 7 states, well, if you include Sikkim, the 8 states of the region we call the Northeast, and that expression is very frustrating because it means nothing. It hides the complexity and the uniqueness of each of those states. The sociology of those 7 or 8 states, pick the one you want, collectively is more complex than the sociology, I would dare say, of the other 23 or 24 states of our country. And yet we, in our analysis, whether we come from the political sphere, whether we come from journalism, media, analysis, anywhere, we tend to simplify it. What has happened in Manipur over the past 3 months is horrific, tragic, terrible, and complex. But at its root, it is many things. It is not a simplistic Hindu-Christian riot, which is what many have sought to reduce it to. And this is also part of the problem. We tend to reduce very complex and serious issues, which have multiple dimensions, into something very simplistic as X versus Y, Hindu versus Muslim, Christian versus Hindu, Christian versus Muslim. There is a problem with the way we discuss national issues. And this problem is not limited to politicians or to parliamentarians.